we are going to practice solving one variable inequalities. Here's the paper you should have out. If you don't have this out, you can just write this down on a separate sheet of paper. Now, if you really look at it, I can't really cover it up. I can do this though. Like, we're just going to look at these top two boxes. Okay, so let's look at these top two boxes. Just like we had in our notes, look, here's my equation, here's my inequality. They are exactly the same, except for one has an equal sign and one has an inequality sign. We're going to show how solving equations and inequalities are the same thing, except for maybe a couple different tweaks to be able to show what the difference between the two are. So first thing I do is I go to the equal sign. I'm going to draw a dotted line. Inequality, I'm going to draw a dotted line. Now, the first thing I do is look to see, are there any things that I can combine? Like if I covered up the right-hand side over here, is there anything over here I can put together? No, there's not. And I look at that on both sides. Well, okay, so there's not. So now I'm going to move my regular numbers, my units over here to the right. So I'm going to add 3 to each side because it says -3. That's the same on the inequality. So the 3's cancel out and I get 7x equals 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 6x. Well, that's what you have over here. The 3's cancel out, except you have 7, you have less than 6 plus 6x. Sorry, it should be 7x. Now I need to move my x's to the left. Well, that's a positive 6x, so I'm going to subtract 6x from each side. That gives me 1x equals the 6x's on the other side cancel, and it equals 6. Okay, so my solution is x equals 6. We would do the same thing over here. You would subtract 6x from each side. And I get 1x is less than 6. That's my solution right here, what I'm boxing in. X is less than 6. Okay? So now, when they talk about checking it algebraically, it's checking to see if it makes it true. I'm just going to show you this the first time. It's the same as taking my equation, 7x minus 3 equals 3 plus 6x. So if you go and put 6 in here for x, so you multiply and put the 6 in there, you're trying to see if you got the right answer or not, because both sides should be equal. If you put in the calculator 7 times 6 minus 3, you'll get 39. If you put in the calculator 3 plus 6 times 6, you get 39. That shows you that it checks and you got the right answer. So now, when you are graphing, just like we talked about on our notes, when x equals 6, here's 6, you just put a dot right there where x is 6. Now on a number line, here's 6, and it says less than. So you're going to use an open circle. Remember, when it's less than or greater than, it's an open dot. If it is greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, it is a closed dot. So it's an open dot. Less than means I'm going to shade to the left, and this is what you should have gotten. So let me move this up, and I want you to try and do the next two. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger. I want you to try and do the next two, which are right here. This one. And this one, again, the same thing. We just have an inequality, an equal sign, and then an inequality symbol. So pause the video and come back and see how you did. At the equal sign, I'm going to draw a dotted line. Inequality sign, draw a dotted line. So over here on the left, I'm going to put together my x's. 6x minus 1x is 5x minus 7.2 equals 8.2. Well, my inequality, we would be doing the same thing, 6x minus 1x. So I have 5x minus 7.2 is greater than 2.8. Now to solve your equation, I'm going to get the 7.2 and put it to the other side. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is add. So I'm going to add 7.2 to each side. Same thing as what you would do over here on the inequality. When you add them, 5x equals, you add that, you get 10. Over here, 5x is greater than 10. You're going to divide by 5. Divide by 5. I get x equals 2. That's your solution. Over here on the inequality, I'm going to have x is greater than 2 is what you should have come up with. Okay, the algebraic check, 6x minus 7.2 minus x equals 2.8. Where the x is, you are going to put what you got for your answer. So I'm going to put 2 in there. If you put all of the left side here in, you're going to get 2 in the calculator, you get 2.8, and it equals 2.8. That means it checks. Now graphing, x equals 2. So at 2, you're just going to put a dot, right? We have 0, 1, 2. But I just put the number and then whatever, it's an open circle or a closed circle, sorry, when it's equal to. On the next one, 0, 1, 2, it is greater than 2. So it's going to be an open circle because it's not equal to. Greater than is shading to the right. Okay, let me move this up. I want you now to try pause the video and try and do these two right here. At the equal sign, I draw a dotted line. At the inequality symbol, I draw a dotted line. First thing you are going to have to do is the distributive property. That's what you should have done. And that's true to both of them. So 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. And it equals 7. Well, same over here, 2x plus 6 is less than 7. To get x by itself, you need to move this plus 6 and do the opposite, which is minus 6. So I'm going to subtract 6 from each side. And these cancel. I get 2x equals 1. 2x is less than 1. Now I divide by 2. That's true on both of them. I get x equals 1/2. The inequality over here, you get x is less than 1/2. Oh, I forgot the equal to. How come y'all didn't tell me? The equal to sign, sorry. There we go. I'm going to skip down here on the number line and I'm going to go down. Well, if you did the checking algebraically, let's just do this. 2 times x plus 3 equals 7. You would put 1/2 in here. And then when you put this in the calculator, you would get 7 equals 7, and it checks. So on my number line to graph it at 1/2, I would put just a dot at 1/2 because x equals 1/2. Now on the inequality, it says less than or equal to. Because it says equal to right here, see if I can get that highlighted. Because it has equal to, I put a closed dot, and less than means to shade to the left. All right, let me move my screen. And then the next ones right here I want you to do. These top ones where it says 13 minus 4a equals 1 minus a. Go ahead and pause the video and do those and come back and see how you did. Equal sign, inequality sign, drawing my line. First thing you should have done, well, you don't have to do this first, but this is what I'm choosing to do first. I'm going to subtract 13 from each side because I need to move my numbers over here. So I'm going to subtract 13 from each side. I get negative 4a equals 1. Oh, not 1. What is it? 1 minus 13. So that would be negative 12. So minus 12 minus a. Oh, and okay, I need to write this in black. minus 12 minus A. So same thing over here with the inequality. I'd have negative 4A is greater than or equal to negative 12 minus A. Now I need to move this A to the other side. So I need to add A to each side. Same thing with my inequality. This becomes negative 3A equals, the A's cancel here, negative 12. Negative 3A greater than or equal to negative 12. Now you're going to divide by negative 3. When I divide by negative 3, that makes a positive A equals 4. Okay, this is where it's going to be different for an inequality. When you divide by negative 3, ding, 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 something special happens. When you divide by a negative, you must flip the inequality sign. So it has to become less than or equal to. So you get A is less than or equal to 4. That is one of the biggest differences between equations and inequalities. You have to flip the sign when dividing by a negative. So now I'm going to skip over here to graphing. And at 4, when A equals 4, I just put a dot at 4. Over here at 4, it says less than or equal to. Equal to is a colored in circle. Less than is to the left like this. This is what you should have gotten. You should see the next two down there. So after you get settled, why don't you go ahead and do the next two? And then, so pause the video, do the next two, and then come back and we'll see how you did. So at the equal sign, dotted line, inequality, dotted line, first thing you'll do is the distributive property. So you get 4n plus 8 equals 2n. 4n plus 8 equals 2n. Oh, not equals. Silly me. Greater than 2n. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. You don't always have to do it this way. People will show you other ways. I just always like to get my numbers to the right, my constants to the right, my variables to the left. So I'm going to move this 8 over here to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 8 from each side. That's true on both of these. I'm going to get 4n equals 2n minus 8. 4n is greater than 2n minus 8. Then I'm going to subtract 2n from each side. Okay, subtract 2n from each side. I'm running out of room. I'm going to have to be, I wrote a little big here. Oop. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Okay. Give myself some room here. So I've got 2n equals negative 8. From here, you divide by 2. Your answer will be n equals negative 4. And at negative 4, I will put just a dot because n equals negative 4. So if I finish up on the inequality, I'm going to move over here a little bit. Negative 2, not negative, sorry, 4 minus 2 is 2. So I get 2n is greater than negative 8. If I divide by 2, n is greater than negative 4. So at negative 4, you should have put an open circle, and greater than means to shade to the right. Clean up some of these markings, and let me move this up for the last one that we were supposed to do. If you've not done this one, oops, my board is going to freak out here. All right. If you've not done this one, go ahead and pause the video and try and do it. This one says that if family wants to hold a dinner party at a restaurant, the restaurant charges $150 to rent the space. and the food for each person is going to be $18. How many people will be able to attend if the family spends $420? Well, it cost me $150 to rent the room plus $18 for each person. X is the number of people. They plan on spending $420. So this would be my inequality. Let's go ahead and solve this one, and we'll go over there and look at the other one in a minute. So I'm going to subtract 150 from each side. These cancel, and I get 18x equals 270. Then when I divide by 18, I get x equals 15. So here at 15, you just should have put a dot right here at 15. Now the next one is saying, on the inequality part, it says a family wants to hold a dinner party. It's still $150 to rent the space. Each person is $18, but they want to spend no more than $420. So we're still going to have $150 plus 18x. Now, no more than is going to mean less than or equal to 420. You will do the exact same steps by subtracting 150 from each side. 18x is less than or equal to 270. Divide by 18. X is less than or equal to 15, but the graphing is what's going to be different. So let me start here. I'm going to start, if I make this 15 and I go down, my thing is you cannot, a lot of times what you're trying to do probably is put a closed circle at 15 and shade to the left. You can't do that because this data is discrete, meaning that you're talking about people. So you're either going to have 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, and it has to be dots because it's only going to be whole numbers. And you'll go all the way down to 0, right? Because the dots will only go between 0 and 15 because 1, it's dots because it's discrete, because you're talking about number of people. 2, you can only go down to 0 because you can't have a negative amount of people. And so this is something that they may ask you on the STAR test or on your test to see if you know the difference between discrete and continuous.